大家好，我是菲菲老师，欢迎回到我的频道。今天我们来学习第11课。Today we learn lesson 11. Let's go. The title of this lesson is 我读大学呢。我读大学呢。我 means I or me, right? 大学 we know 学校 which is school, right? And then 大 what about 大 big. So big school, literally big school. In Chinese, it means university. 大学 university. So I'm studying at university. Okay. First of all, let's take a look of all the objectives we're going to go through for lesson 11. First one, to express actions in progress. So in English, it's like I'm doing something. We will learn this expression in Chinese. Second one, the affirmative negative question pattern. Okay, what does it mean? We'll explain this in detail in language point session. And last one, the modal verb 要. Right? The previous, we learned one modal verb, which is 想, right? 想. So 想 means want to, right? Want to. Okay, so very good. First of all, warm up. I have 6 pictures. Please match the words and then with these 6 pictures. You can pause the video here until you get the answer. Okay, let's look at it together. First one. So we learned 书店 before, right? 书店, it means bookstore. So 书 book, 店 store or shop, right? So here 饭店. Remember what 饭 is, like in 米饭 or 吃饭. So 饭 means meal. So 饭店 meal shop, restaurant. Yes, restaurant. So it should be this picture, right? The first one. Okay, next one. F. 大学生. So earlier we said 大学 is university. And then 学生 is what? Student. So 大学生 university student. Okay, next one. Looks like someone is driving. Yes, we will learn this word in this lesson. 开车, driving a car. 开车. Okay, next one. Someone is finding something. Someone is looking for something in her bag. Yes, 找 is the action of looking for or finding. Okay, next one. Someone is asking for the direction. Ask, 问 ask. Okay, last one, sleep, 睡觉 sleep. Okay, did you get it all right? I will read it through. You can repeat after me. 喂，菲菲，你什么时候能到饭店？还不知道，正在找呢。他是不是在超市后边？是的，你开车没开车？我没开车，坐车呢。All right, next, let's go through all the new vocabularies of this text. You can repeat after me. 时候饭店知道正在找开车车 Okay, first word 时候 It means a point in time. So before we learned the word for time, right? The abstract concept of time itself. How to say time? 时间 right? 时间 Yes, 时间 So what's the difference between 时间 and 时候? 时间 more likely the abstract concept of time, right? For example, 你有时间吗? Do you have time? 你有时间吗? And 时候 more often it means a specific time, a specific point in time, right? For example, if you ask 什么时候, 什么时候 it means what time, right? What specific time you are referring to? What specific point of time you're referring to? 什么时候 right? For example, 我这个时候回家。我这个时候回家。I go home 回家。I go home at this time. Right here, time it's not the absent abstract concept of time, but more likely a specific point in time. I go home at this time. Next example, 你什么时候去？When do you? What does 去 mean? Go, right? 你什么时候去? When do you go? Right? So, 什么时候 can say what time or when. When, right? Okay, so 时候. Next one. 饭店. 饭店. Earlier we explained this in the warm-up session, right? 饭店, restaurant. 饭 meal. 店 shop or store. So a store or shop selling meals, restaurant, 饭店. And then please pay attention here, the measure word for 饭店. 一家饭店, right? We learned it in 一家书店, right? The specific measure word for stores, shops, 一家饭店. For example, 那家饭店的菜很好吃。那家饭店的菜很好吃。The 菜, what does 菜 mean? The dish or dishes in that restaurant is very delicious. Next one, 我家外面有很多饭店。How do we translate this sentence? 我家外面有很多饭店。Right? There are, right, 有 the existential sentences. 我家外面有 so there are many restaurants outside my house or my home. Right? Okay. Next word. 知道 to know or to realize. 知道 to know. What about the negativity? 不知道 right? 不 we add this in front of a verb to mean negativity. 不知道 For example, 我不知道你的书在哪儿 What does 在哪儿 mean? 在哪儿 Yes, where is something, right? Asking for the location. So, I don't know where your book is. I don't know, right? Next one, we can also put it in this kind of structure. 你知不知道我要去上海? How do we understand 知不知道? So we know 知道 to know, to realize. 不 negativity. But here again, we repeat the verb 知不知道? So this actually, if we translate it word by word in English, it's do you know do you know or not that I'm going to Shanghai? Do you know or not? Right? So this is quite a unique expression in Chinese to asking questions like this, because in English, normally we don't ask, do you know or not? Right? It's normally just like, do you know that I'm going to Shanghai? So we will explain this structure in language points more in detail. This is the language point of this lesson. Okay, for now, let's move on to the next word. 正在. Yes, this is what we said to express in the process of. So something is happening, right? You can add 正在 before the verb to mean that this verb, this action is happening. For example, 我正在工作. What does 工作 mean? 工作 to work. So if we put 正在 in front of the 工作, it means I am working, right? If we remove 正在, 我工作, I work. And then if you put 正在 in front of 工作, I am working. 我正在工作。Yes. Next example. 他正在开车。开车 means to drive a car. So how do we translate 他正在开车? Yes, it means she is driving or she is driving a car. Okay, very good. Next word, 找, to find or to look for. Yes, here I would like you to pay attention because the 汉字 for 找 is quite similar to another 汉字. Can you recall? Which 汉字 looks really similar to 找? Yes, 我, right? 我. So you can find the difference that actually 我, there is just one more stroke right here, right? This is the only difference between 找 and 我. So please pay attention here and then try to differentiate these two 汉字. Right? Okay, 找东西, 东西 things. So 找东西 looking for something, finding something. 找人, 找人. 人 is what? Human, people, right? So looking for someone, looking for somebody, 找人, right? For example, 我有事找你. 我有事找你. What is 事? What does 事 mean? Thing, right? Matter, thing. So 我有事找你. I'm looking for you for something, right? I'm looking for you for something. I have something to tell you maybe, so I'm looking for you to talk something to you, right? Okay, next one. 我想找这个. 我想找这个. 想 want to. I want to find this, right? For example, you can go into a store and then you can say to the shop assistant. Remember what is shop assistant? We learned in lesson 10. 售货员, right? 售货员. Or in a more casual way, you can say 服务员. So when you go into a shop and then you can ask for something and then you say to the 售货员, 我想找这个. I want to look for this. Can you help me find this? 我想找这个. Okay, very good. Next word, 开车, 开车. 开车, to drive a car, drive a vehicle. Right? For example, 我不会开车. What does 不会 mean? 不会. I cannot drive. Or I don't know how to drive. And then, 你开车吗? 你开车吗? Do you drive? 你开车吗? Do you drive? Okay. Next one. So we're talking about 开车, right? 开车. So 开 is the verb for driving. Then let's talk about 车. So actually 车 here, more precisely, it means vehicle because in other scenarios, it doesn't only mean car, but in daily use, right? Daily conversations. Normally when you say 车, you mean cars. So let's look at other words that 车 can form. For example, 火车, 火车. 火, the literal meaning of 火 is fire. Fire. So 火车 is actually train. 火车, train. Next one, 自行车. 自行车. Let me type the pronunciation here. 自, fourth tone, 自行. Second tone, 自行车. Bicycle. Bicycle. So let's look at some examples. 我不想开车. I don't want to drive. I don't want to drive. And then you can also say 我买了一辆车. Fourth tone. 我买了一辆车. So here, 辆, it is the specific measure word for 车. 我买了一辆车. I bought or I buy a car. 我买了一辆车. Okay, very good. So that was all the vocabulary. Now let's look at the language point of this lesson. So it is called affirmative negative questions. The definition is affirmative negative questions follow the pattern something plus 不 or may plus something, where something is a verb or an adjective. 不 or 没 is used in verb affirmative negative questions, while 不 is used in adjective affirmative negative questions. Okay, I know it sounds confusing. What does it mean? Let's explain. So, first of all, let's look at the structure. First, you put, so scenario 1, first you put a verb, and then you put 不 or 没, and then you put the same verb here. Here is the same verb as before. So, for example, 你是不是菲菲? 你是不是菲菲? Can you guess the meaning of this sentence? Okay, let's take a look. First, 你, you, right? 你, you. And then 是, the to be verb, right? Is the to be verb. So here, the structure is exactly 是, the verb, plus 不, plus 是, again, right? 你是不是菲菲? Yes, so this sentence means, are you 菲菲? Are you 菲菲? So actually, if we translate it word by word, like literally, it would be, are you or are you not 菲菲? Right? But here, actually, it just means, are you 菲菲 in English? So to ask questions in Chinese, actually, we have two options. First one, of course, 你是不是菲菲? Can you think about how to change this sentence by not repeating the verb, like the other way of asking this question? We've learned it before, right? Using the 汉字吗? So this sentence would be 你是菲菲吗? Right? Both these ways are correct. And then it's just like up to your habit, up to your choice, which one you want to use. 你是不是菲菲? 你是菲菲吗? Right? So here is the verb scenario. Another example. 你去没去学校? 你去没去学校? Can you guess how to translate this one? All right, so you might have a question. Why we're using 没 instead of 不 here? So let's see the difference between these two. 你去不去学校? Actually, both of these two sentences are correct, but what is the difference? 去没去 means that, did you go to the school or not? It's asking about the fact. But if we say 你去不去学校, it means, are you going to the school or not? Right? It's asking your choice, your option. It's asking your future option. 你去没去? Did you do it already? 你去不去? Will you do it? Right? Please pay attention to these two differences here. Okay, let's see next scenario, adjectives. So for adjectives, we only use 不, right? Because to express the negativity for an adjective is always just 不. So, for example, 这件衣服好看不好看? 这件衣服好看不好看? What does it mean? 这件衣服 is what? 衣服, clothes. And then 件, we learned this before. It is the specific measure word for clothes, right? So 这件衣服好看 is what? 好, good, 看, to look, right? So same logic as 好吃 is delicious. So 好看, it can be translated into pretty or beautiful. So is this clothes beautiful? Or is it beautiful or not? 好看不好看? Okay, so these are the basic structure of how to use this affirmative negative questions. Next, let's do some exercise. First one, 他去哪儿了? 你 And then answer, like the other person can answer with 我不知道. So what can we put here in the blank? Next one, 昨天你书店. You can answer with 我没去. Third one, person A says 这件衣服. And then person B answer with 不贵. So what should we put in the blank here? You can pause the video here until you get the answer. Okay, let's take a look. First one, 我不知道. Right? So of course the question is asking you, do you know or not? Right? So we say 你知道不知道? 他去哪儿了? 你知道不知道? So 我不知道. Right, next one, 昨天你去没去书店? Right, because you can answer with 我没去. So it's asking you, did you go or not? 昨天你去没去书店? Yesterday, did you go to the bookshop? Right, last one, 这件衣服贵不贵? 贵不贵? 不贵. So here is the adjective scenario. Right, 这件衣服贵不贵? Is it expensive or not? It is not expensive. Okay, very good. So that is everything about the part 1 of lesson 11. I will see you very soon in the part 2. 再见.